trial, they accused him of wizardry, beat him to pulp, and compelled him to confess. The 70-year-old man who was almost killed is battling for his life at the Damango Catholic Hospital. But his accusers are not satisfied. They pursued him to the hospital and demanded his release in order to finish the crude ritual. Grandson of the 70-year-old Isahaku Muhammadu has been speaking to journalists.
Saturday, around 8 in the morning, around 8 a.m. in the morning, my grandfather, he went to take corona injection, and a messenger came to his house and came and asked about him, and they said that he went, and the wife told the messenger that the husband has left. He went to inject corona. So when he came back, the wife told him that someone, Zina, sent a messenger here looking for him. Oh yes, it's true. Yesterday around 9 p.m., it's like 9:30 p.m., they went there. I mean, the soothsayer's husband, he went there with two crews, with two guys. So, and he was trying to, get the patients out of the hospital so that, according to him, he will go and rescue his children from witchcraft. So he tried, but he couldn't, succeed. His reason was that his children told him that some weeks ago, our grandfather gave jollof rice to them. There were two children. That he gave jollof rice to them, and they ate. So when they ate the jollof rice, now anytime they sleep in the night, the two children, one will turn to a lion, and one will also turn to a snake. Sometimes one will turn to a horse.
Have you reported this to the police?
Yes, we reported it to the police. For now, the police hasn't done anything yet, because this afternoon, one of the policemen called us and told us that they are waiting for the police form so that they will see as to how they would do. And now, currently, as I'm speaking, I'm in the police station. We have been discharged, and we brought the police form. And what they told us is early dawn, they will see what they will go and do.
So is your grandfather still at the hospital, or he's been discharged?
Yes, because how the situation is, we don't want to bring him out so that people will see him and still, be chasing after him. So we pleaded with the doctor that we want our patient to still be on the bed, and we come and present the police form to them. So this is what we told the doctors, and they've given us, they've given us chance, and we came and present the form.
Okay. And we're learning now that the family of the 70-year-old, especially the caretakers, are being threatened by the soothsayer and his followers. Let's go to Zoom now and speak to human rights lawyer and member of parliament for Madina, Francis Xavier Sosu. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here on Journey's Prime. You sponsored a bill to deal with these issues of witchcraft. We'll come to that shortly, but first, your reaction to this latest incident.
Thank you very much. I think that this is a very worrying incident, particularly in this day and age. We shouldn't be seeing this in our democracy. So it's an act that must be condemned with all the force that you can ever marshal. And I think that the police will have to do the needful to make sure that this witch doctor is arrested and brought to book. Clearly, what he's done under the existing legislation amount to criminal assault. And so I think that there is a basis for the witch doctor to be arrested and prosecuted under our laws whilst we wait to continue to advocate for the criminalization of witchcraft accusations.
So that brings us to the bill which you're sponsoring. Where are we with that?
Well, just today in Parliament, the stakeholders of the bill had our first preparatory meeting because between the 4th and the 7th of March, we would be visiting the various communities that are have the prevalence of this witchcraft accusation. And so, and our goal is to understand the situation from the community's perspective so that it can perfect the bill that is currently being drafted. I can say on authority that we have a draft bill, except that before we finalize it and have it tabled before Parliament, we want to be sure that we visit the various stakeholders so that we can do a very good job. We don't want to be armchair anthropologists. We want to be participant observants so we can understand the situation well to shape in a bill that can be that can stand the test of time. So that is where we are now.
And it's interesting that you mentioned consultation with the stakeholders, because even before you moved there, some of them, especially in the Northeast region, have disagreed with your approach. I want you to listen to this assembly member who spoke to our correspondent, Ilyasu Tanko, and I'll get your reaction to that.
Show them that, look, I'm not saying it's a failure, but the thing will not work. Don't we have laws in Ghana? You don't have to brutalize someone. You don't have to banish someone. Is it lawful? Why can't they use that law to even deal with it? Now you are going to pass another new bill, which is fine, but I am telling you that that is not what we want. What we want, I was even thinking, is that they should come down and let's have bylaws in the assemblies that these things are happening. For instance, Eastman Prussia Municipality, which assembly I am, if they come there and we do bylaws, and the bylaws should be very convincing, together with the assembly members and the chiefs. Let's reason together and come out with a bylaw that will protect our own. That is what I want. Because I have seen that even if you sit in Accra and you do the bill, that anybody who accuses a witch will be arrested, prosecuted, and imprisoned. Look, they won't accuse any witch. You always convey cops.
Honorable, you've heard him there. He also goes on to talk about lack of consultation, which you say you are going to address. But how do you respond to this, reaction?
Well, to a very large extent, I think that he's right, except that he's right within some context, within a very limited view of the bill that we are promoting. The truth is that it is part of the reasons why we are working on this consultation. In fact, I never knew that there was any interview like that, but as part of the process of passing a law, there is always a need to have critical stakeholders make input. And so I think when you look at the latter part of what he said, particularly with respect to coming to assembly and joining assembly to pass a bylaw, that would be limited to every assembly. But our consultation is to pass a piece of legislation that would cover the entire country. Don't forget that accusation of witchcraft is not limited to only these communities. There are modern day prophets and pastors and self-styled men of God who also accuse people of witchcraft and subject them to all kinds of dehumanizing and inhuman treatment. So our focus is broader than what he's saying. But I think that the bit that I agree has to do with the need for the consultation. And like I told you today in Parliament, myself and two other proponents of the bill, we have Dr. Gisal and Honorable Ayamga. We had a meeting with other stakeholders as part of preparation so that we can embark on a nationwide tour, but we're starting from communities where we have the prevalence of the accusation, which is in the northern part, yes.
Very well. Thank you very much. That's Francis Xavier Sosu. He's Member of Parliament for Madina.